chef.
Cultured chef.
Can you give me one on that? What's that?
Yeah. So I'm a private chef out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what shit? What the? Okay, hold up. I need vittles too.
He's a Patriots fan too, so
Facts.
Hey,
you're funding the rebellion. If that's what you.
I ain't funding.
If that's what you wanted to, just
we got heavy.
just
hands
so you
over
know,
here.
like don't.
I understand what there's always a
I see
crossover.
what you was trying to
you know
do,
what I'm
man.
saying? It's
Like
coming. It's coming.
nah,
It's
you
all
gotta
right.
pick a side.
No, I did. It's the Broncos.
They got
okay.
chefs in Denver. Don't
Yeah,
they?
they sure
You
do.
did
That's right.
That's
And
what
they take Patriot people and convert them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they have all that extra time in the off season
No,
to
we
become
ain't got
better
no
at
extra
cooking.
time, man.
I'm just saying.
You do understand what the best defense is in the world right now, right?
What
You
it
understand?
was.
Was good enough last season?
It is. You understand that, right? Oh, we gonna have a good day. This is awesome.
Yo, we gonna keep this part, man. Yo, Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression, your man DJ Journey, 'tis the time in the building.
T-I-Z, baby.
Yo, and we got a special guest for you guys today. We have Malcolm J. Gray.
Yo.
That's good.
And also we got Steven, the culture chef, in the building.
Yeah. What's
Cooking
happening,
it up.
What's up, fellas?
You look like a young Wyclef with them shades. On.
yeah?
I didn't expect those to come out. That was crazy. Wow.
For sure, man.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
man.
thank y'all for coming out and blessing us, man, with not only your talents but your presence.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
For sure.
appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely, man. We always look for Trip Digital Radio Sound Art and Expression. It's all about like people that are building culture, people that are about the culture, not only in LA, but New York and all over the place. But we're in LA right now. And I met you at the Live Nation office over there.
Yep.
And you guys were doing some really, really cool stuff, man. I'm new out here, just moved here from New York, but I'm all about seeing it and connecting with it right away. And I saw you running around. You were talking to people, man. I'm like, this guy, he's an owner. He's important.
Yes, indeed.
Big shout.
Or just busy, man. You know?
Yeah.
Hey.
Busy.
Busy looks, you know what I'm saying? But hey, this cat right here, man, he's got so many credits. It's just awesome, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He's doing
Absolutely.
big things, huh?
So, but
No
first
joke.
thing that I saw on your roster is social media marketing.
That's what I'm talking about.
How'd you get into that?
Oh man, it was a long story. You know, when I went to college, you know, my first job fair, you know, I was in business school, so you pull up to the job fair and like 80% of the companies are accounting companies, right? So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, all right, I got to find a job where I can make some money. So let me go do that, right?
Yeah.
I took 3 accounting classes, realized I didn't want to be an accountant. So I switched my major to marketing, got a marketing degree, couldn't find a marketing job. So I was an accountant for 4 years. It's kind of fucked up how that works.
Wow.
Anyway, you know, then I started like getting involved with like street promotions and doing all that kind of stuff. Then there was a point where I quit my accounting job, went to grad school to get my master's in marketing. And then, you know, I started taking internships, getting like my social media experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was just doing stuff all with music. And as social media was growing, music was really blowing up it was already blowing up on the internet, but like finding its way on social media as well.
Yeah.
And I was just part of that wave early on. And, you know, I worked at companies like Karmaloop. I interned there. I interned at this little commuter company. So my real, you know, first experience doing social media was at Karmaloop, man. Just working with them on the e-commerce platform, selling clothes, you know, marketing culture and all the cool content that they were coming out with at that time. And then, you know, kind of just rolled into different positions from there.
Wow. So you started off in social media market for the corporate side of things.
For sure. Well, Karmaloop was kind of a startup, but it was you know, it was like streetwear. It was a streetwear online retailer. So it was a professional job for sure. But you know, it definitely was more into the culture than most companies.
Absolutely.
So when you say use social media, I mean, what are you doing out there in the market? How are you changing the game within the social media?
I think, you know, there's different facets to it. You know, some people use social media for, you know, so many different things where, you know, working as a company, you're protecting your brand, you're creating a brand, you're creating an extension of your brand's experience through these social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So you're touching people at different, you know, they're not in your store, they're not, you know, on your website, you know what I'm saying? So like, however you can insert yourself into a natural conversation on these different platforms that still feels like your brand and, you know, helps raise your brand equity in your customers and, you know, potential followers' mind. That's what social media really is. And some people use it to sell, some people use it for other things, obviously, as well, to promote. But, you know, if you do it right, it's just an extension of your brand experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. I mean, do you find it's hard for people to grasp social media from your standpoint? Because social media is, you know, as an artist and as a business person, I get it, but there's a part that I don't get, like the back end. I mean, do you find yourself explaining different parts to other than the interface?
You know, I think it's just people just use it for different things. There's people that just go there for jokes. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. It's not this serious end all be all platform. Like there's people that don't have cell phones, one, but for those people that do, there's people that just don't have social media accounts because it's like there's a lot of information and a lot of people can't handle that much stimulation or even have the time to. You know what I'm saying? So there's people that just use it for jokes. There's people that just use it for sports news or movie news or music news. You know what I'm saying? Like don't interact. There's just people that go on social media to watch, right? There's a large percentage of people that just use it for that. And then you have the people that engage and watch. And then, you know, it just goes from there. There's people that just post stuff and don't engage at all. You know what I'm saying? But people use it for all different kinds of things, you know? So it's really based on who you are and like what you're trying to get out of it. You know what I mean?
But you as a social media manager, I mean, you are structuring. Let's say I'm a client, so you're structuring me to win in the game, right? So
Yeah.
what do you do? What do you do that's different than anybody else out there? I mean, or what I do? I go on there, I do my little tweets and my posts, and I think I'm doing something righteous, and I got 24 people liking me. What happened?
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, what are you on social media for? What's your purpose, right? Because your purpose will define what kind of followers you have, right? And your purpose will define what kind of photos and, you know, what kind of things you're going to talk about and post about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's just, all right, I need a place to put my family photos, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Then most people that are going to follow you are your family and your friends. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a lot of strangers trying to get into your personal life. But, you know, if you're an actor, right, and you're posting behind the scenes and you're creating a journey for people to follow and feel like, you know, they're a part of your journey, that's a whole different thing. You do that in a different way. You get a lot of followers you don't know. You do that kind of stuff. So it's really based on how you want to use the platform or insert it into your life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's a difficult thing for some people because, I mean, I find it because a lot of jobs, let's just take this for instance, a lot of jobs that you apply for and stuff like that, kids go apply for jobs, they'll check out their social media account.
Yep.
Do you think that that's fair to do if you're just using it? I mean, because it's the place to go to look at a person's like profile.
So likes and followers is now currency?
No, not even. Well, it depends on what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a company looking for an influencer to represent my brand, then I need to know, obviously, who follows you, how many people follow you, how engaged are they to your content. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So will that make a better buy if I'm the company trying to get an influencer to represent us? But you know, most people need it for different things. So can you do the job is kind of the question, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what the job is, depending on how much your social media, like if you're just crunching numbers, you're an accountant at the desk, your social media shouldn't matter as much, you know what I'm saying? Because as long as I'm not, you know, coming to work crazy or doing anything like that, as long as I can get my job done at a very high level, it doesn't matter what my personal life is like. Like, you don't need to have access to that. This is a new thing where people can easily look it up. You know what I'm saying? 20 years ago, they wasn't looking at, they're not going through your family's photo albums to see, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing on the weekends. That's not what it is.
Right.
Definitely.
Quick question. Do you feel like social media, how could I say this? Because I have a lot of, here's a story. There's a lot of artists that I do know that don't know how social media works, but they're dope. Sitting in Brooklyn right now. They're really, really dope. But they don't know how to engage. They're uploading the wrong things and stuff like that. They got a few followers, but they don't have enough to get that look. Do you think that that's fair in a way? I mean, because I always thought that it should be some sort of guidelines to social media before you get on, because it hurts you. Coming in, it hurts you because you can be like, okay, this person is negative because I've seen a timeline over like the past, year or so, and they always talking about rainy days. And then you have this artist that's trying to get on and he really can't get on because his social media numbers are not good. So how do you feel about that? You got a dope artist.
You know, I think
numbers.
it's the numbers, man, it's really one of those old sayings where, it's kind of like you got to keep working at the content. Social media, it's a game, man. So it's kind of like you put out one piece, see how it does, right? There's analytics now. You can see how everything performs. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you post 10 things, right? You look at the 10 things in the analytics and it's like, okay, this photo one did well, right? Okay, maybe people like photos. All right, I can't just, maybe better than quotes, right? All right, cool. Right. Let me do more photos and videos. Cool. Now you're posting photos, videos, and maybe some quotes still to see how it rings off.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, this quote did really well. Oh, because I quoted somebody that's famous. Okay. All right, cool. So I know, all right, famous quotes do well. All right, I can add those to the portfolio, right? All right, let's experiment more with these videos and pictures, right? Okay, I posted 5 different types of pictures. Oh, this behind the scenes footage at the show got the most engagement out of all the other joints. Okay, so more behind the scenes photos. The people that follow me engage with that more. Okay, it's literally just it's trial and error. That's all it is. And it's like by the time you get good at it, nobody's going all the way back to the ones where I mean, everybody's Instagram from like 4 years ago was trash.
Right.
Like it's trash.
Yeah.
You're still using all the filters. Like it was trash.
That's true.
Like compared to now, like how things are now, like the phones are so much better. Like everybody's just posting these HD lifestyle shots. Like these are your homies that got nothing to do with like music or entertainment at all. They're just going to the beach, but they got a 7S, and they're like, you know what? Shit, I need that portrait mode, and then it's like, damn.
But then they got like 7,000, 8,000 followers, and then you got 240. You know what I'm saying? But you're trying to do the same thing, or maybe you're trying to promote this little T-shirt line that you're coming out with. And then how do you go in as a social media expert? How do you help that person? How do you help that person?
It's also you have to understand the platform. Like the stuff you post on Twitter might not do as well on Instagram. The stuff you post on Facebook might not do as well on Twitter. Like you have to know the platforms and what people go there for. Instagram, people want to look at pretty stuff, right? So you can't post a picture of just a T-shirt, of a product photo. You got to post that T-shirt on somebody. You know what I'm saying? You have to put people in that scenario. You'd want them to wear that T-shirt in. You know what I'm saying? So if it's 2 people, at a bowling alley like celebrating a birthday. That's what do you feel when you see that kind of picture? Like, oh, okay, this is wow. I feel good about. I like going roller skating. I like going bowling. I like birthday parties. You get these, these positive associations with the pictures that you're posting. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like if you post a picture of a T-shirt on like a website, it's like, okay, it's not as appealing. It doesn't bring you in as much. So it's really just posting content that will bring people in and make them stop for that extra second to really look at the photo.
Okay.
Yeah. So trial and error. I mean, it kind of defeats my my next question. How can an artist damage their profile on social media?
We're in an age, dude, where it's like, Journey, it's really one of those things where, what do people expect from you, right?
Yeah.
After a while, you built up enough, people kind of know when Journey tweets or when he posts on Instagram, they kind of know what it is if they've been following you for a while, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the dude that posts, I'm not saying you do, but like if you post like the ratchet memes, right? You'll get a lot of engagement. People are gonna laugh their ass off, but they expect you to do the stuff with the memes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you're just always posting like selfies and that kind of stuff, then people go, all right, he's the selfie guy. You know what I mean? No, I mean not the selfie guy, but like I know he'll post a selfie often, right? And it's one of those things where people, after a while, people start to know what to expect from you. And they can expect the kind of quality, they expect the kind of, frequency, they can expect all these things just by following you for a certain amount of time.
So you all day and day, you just analyze it, completely analyzing it, trial and error, just putting things through a test, through a grinder to find out what's going to possibly work for this particular situation or company.
Yeah, when you start a new project, you know what I mean? Depending on what it is. But then, most people have stuff already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you can say you have a restaurant as a client, right? What's the first thing you do? You do your research. All right, what are the top 10 restaurants killing it on Instagram, right? For example. And what are they doing? What kind of pictures are they posting? Are they engaging with the fans? Are they not engaging with the fans?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many times are they posting a week? You know what I'm saying? What are they doing to gain that success? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a restaurant, do you need Twitter? Do you even need Facebook? You know what I'm saying? Or do you just do Instagram and Yelp? You know what I'm saying? Where people are always searching locations. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you just have to really sit down and like every industry, every company has a specific platform and a specific lane where their customers are. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just finding them where they are.
Wow. I've never heard it explained this way, man. I mean, a lot of people just jump on a platform and they just, like you said, it's a game, but how do you win that game? It's like, how do you win that game of social media? Because there's so many matrix pitfalls and some triumphs, and then you see the celebrities that are on there and they got hella shit going on and they got hella followers, and then it's like, I want to be that. I want to be like that. But then you find out there's a marketing company behind it. It's like they're showing them exactly what to do.
Yeah, and it's that, and some shit's just fake. You know what I'm saying? But I also believe, I also like firmly believe that if you create enough pieces of content, so if you're trying to blow up on YouTube, I believe everything is trial and error. Like you can study all the information you need to find the success stories. Yeah. All the case studies are already there. You know what I'm saying? You can find the top 10 YouTubers, right? For the stuff that you're interested in, things you would want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You can find the top 10, and it's literally just watching those videos, analyzing. It's like, okay, what are they doing well? What are they talking about? Read the comments. What are the people saying about it? What are the compliments that they're giving them on the? Is it because it's funny? Is it because the length of it? Is it because the stuff they talked about? And you can literally, as long as it's on brand for you, incorporate that stuff into you're fine tuning your content to reach that kind of level. You know what I'm saying? And there's luck involved with that too. I don't want to say it's always that easy, but if you're really trying to learn and like craft, and you know what I'm saying, you're analyzing things, I don't see how you couldn't grow. You know?
I think our producer Itchy, he always smacks our ass for things, because he does all the research for us, and you're like, do this on the show, have a topic, do this. I'm like, man, why can't we just freestyle? It's like, no, because these guys are not, and they're winning. Mm-hmm. Okay, we want to win.
That's how it works.
Yo, Malcolm, dope track. What's up with that?
That was Steve Lacy, man. That was
I ain't even moving that much.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
We got excited up here, man.
Sure did. Some more stuff was coming out.
That shit would have really got it started too.
Who was that?
Started off with that.
Who was that we just listened to?
That was Steve Lacy. He's from the internet, the band The Internet.
Okay.
He's like 19 years old, man. He just dropped his debut like EP Steve Lacy demo earlier this year, and that was one of the songs on it.
But how does the internet cat know about this? I mean, we doing music, and then we talking about internet, and then now we talking about he know the art. What you doing, man?
I'm just trying to tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? We just know a lot of things on the East Coast, especially how to win championships. But we don't have to do that right now, though. We don't have to do that.
You see how he threw that in right now? Denver Broncos, just so I know. All right, here we go. All right. We're going to get back on the music, so I don't make you feel bad right now, because you are a guest.
Yeah, that's true.
So tell me this, how do you and Steven come together as a unit? I mean, this is a unit, right?
Sure. He's extended family, man. Right. I'm part of a startup in Boston called Collective Boston, and we throw a monthly day party called The Wave. We won a couple of awards for it, which is super tight. Yeah, he's part of our, extended family, so we've been hanging out for a while.
Can you give us a lowdown on The Wave? What is that?
The Wave, it's, we started it.
That's what I'm saying.
You could do that if you want. There's a little room. It get a little packed, though, but you could try.
And where is it, too, as well?
It's in Boston, so it's at the spot in Cambridge, Massachusetts, near Harvard and MIT, called Middlesex Lounge. And we have it once a month. We started it, man. It's about to be the 4-year anniversary in January.
Man, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It's the 5th year anniversary coming up in a couple of weeks for Collective Boston. So, we started the startup 5 years ago to, provide a voice for, young, creative, diverse, young, black and brown folk, in essence, that didn't really have the opportunities and avenues to get creative projects out. You know what I'm saying? Boston's a very tough city to do things outside of the box, and for people that aren't the majority there. So, we started that 5 years ago. We came up with The Wave because Boston didn't have day parties at all. So we brought the day party, like, that vibe to Boston. And, we've just been going strong for the past 4 years. So, shout out to the whole squad back there.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
And so what are you doing within these day parties? Are you a part of this as well?
So as far as it goes in the day parties, I'm usually part of the energy.
All right, cool.
Turn up.
You could say, I guess there's a better word for mascot. You know what I'm saying?
The good looking one.
You don't seem like the turn up type. You mellow right now.
No,
Oh
he's
yeah,
mad
no,
mellow.
I'm super mellow right now. But
Yeah.
when it comes to the wave, I mean that's been something that's been kind of like a big baby for all of us,
Yeah.
and really making sure that we're bringing collective minds together where people are able to really get exposure that they weren't, before that. It's really a platform that connects people, especially in the city of Boston, which is pretty rare and unique.
Yeah, in essence, we try to bring as many creative people together in one place. It's really just an extension of our friends. That's really how it started, and it grew from there. But, you get as many cool, creative, people in a space, and you birth these new projects. You birth, all right, I want to do a play with them, or I want to write a book, and, this would be my mentor. Oh, this person works at a publisher, so I'd love to, what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of energies and people we're trying to put in the room. Hopefully some beautiful serendipity makes some really cool shit happen. We want the next, cool event, reoccurring event to happen because some people met at the wave. You know what I mean? That's the kind of energy we want to bring. Because I know when I graduated college and moved back to Boston, there wasn't an event like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I can see young, diverse kids like hanging out, being creative, being cool. And it's not going to a club, dressing up, wearing like fake, like, you know what I'm saying? Just having to wear a button up and a slacks and shoes.
Some shoes.
Just to listen to some
Look
hip hop.
like me.
That shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's how Boston is. Right. Young Wyclef. You know?
Exactly.
Imagine
There
Young
he is right
Wyclef
there.
twice a week just to hear some rap.
Young Stevie
That's
Wyclef.
crazy.
No.
That's too much, man. I can't
I
wear.
remember.
I can't wear that many hats. You feel me? So, so we created a space for ourselves in essence and our younger selves.
Do you find it hard to like create something that doesn't exist from the bottom, and how do you work through that? Because you gotta be a certain type of person.
I think it's hard, man. It really depends on what's drawing you to things. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't like creating things that already exist. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't want to start a new day party in LA because LA already has like 17. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, what is something that LA is missing? That's where I get excited. Right. That's the space I like to play in, where I can provide something to a scene instead of trying to be a part of the scene by mimicking something that already exists. You know what I'm saying? So I think wherever that space is that something is needed in culturally, that maybe I would go to, or I know a lot of people that would go to, that's the space that I'd like to create something in,
So was this you moving from Boston to LA? Did you look at this as a challenge? Because I mean, you had it going in Boston.
Yeah, I mean,
coming here.
It's interesting, man. I had a lot of things going on in Boston, but I felt like I wanted to really get into entertainment marketing, and Boston isn't a city for that. We just don't have the resources or the companies. So I knew the wave was still going to be fine. I've been gone for 2.5 years, and we haven't missed a month, so we'll be all right. I still book most of the acts every month, but my team and everybody else in Boston like crushes it. So,
but even though you was like right around from the Mecca, you was right around the corner from New York. You still didn't feel like you could make it happen and still do some things in Boston.
Have you experienced Los Angeles weather before?
Oh, well,
have you experienced Boston weather before? That's why I'm here, man.
You didn't say this, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I get you on that.
Because like New York, man, New York's quick. It's fast, man. And I was like, all right, I'd like to go to New York, but let me go see what LA's about for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? New York always going to be there.
Choice.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to come out here.
You.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
As long as you don't speak about the other team, but it's okay though.
You can just call them champs. We don't got to say their name. We don't got to say their name. We can call them champs.
See, just for all y'all who are listening, there's some issues going on here backstage. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know about this.
They gonna beat you up after that.
Man.
They got beat up last season. They already got beat up enough, man.
We stand strong in Bronco country. You know what I'm saying? We do.
You got Von Miller dancing around in commercials, man.
And
go get your mans.
Yeah, that's right. The best defensive player in the world. You gotta love it. Anyway, but I just wanted to say, so was he cooking as well? Because this is a chef that I heard about right now. I mean, was you doing your thing, creating vittles over there for the peoples too, or what was he doing?
What's vittles?
Vittles? Yeah. Where you from? Wyclef?
Chicago.
Oh, Jesus. They don't know about vittles over there?
My girl know in the building.
Man, they know about
Shout
Vittles
to
in
Loretta.
Boston, though. I hope.
Come on. We don't play sports.
Look at me crazy.
Not necessarily. So usually what it is so I do a lot of like private events.
Okay.
So for instance, when it comes to collective, usually getting the artists together beforehand, we break bread together, and really kind of create the environment where people are able to explore and kind of come up with, new ideas and new topics.
Yeah.
So kind of creating that environment for that platform. But then even over here in LA, working with a lot of my own private clients, and then also doing private events where, again, getting influencers or people that have other means of creativity, that want to explore different routes. The only way, or at least in my personal opinion, the best way to do that is always over breaking bread, something that's common amongst everyone.
Yeah.
So that's something that brings them to the table.
How'd you get into that? How'd you get into being a chef? How'd you get into, cooking and getting to the stuff?
So I grew up in a family restaurant. Okay. My dad's from Haiti, and my mom's side of the family's from Cabo Verde, which is Cape Verde. So if you're not familiar, it's on the northwest coast of Africa, in between Portugal and Africa, cluster of islands there. Okay. So it's an African colony, but it's with a Portuguese influence. Okay. So that's where the cultured chef part of it came from, being half with the Cape Verdean side and the Haitian side. And then living in Boston, which is, a very Irish and Italian, kind of oriented city. So I grew up in that family restaurant, cooking French cuisine behind my dad, and then worked in a few Mediterranean restaurants thereafter, and then realized I didn't want to be a chef. The hours were crazy. My dad would be gone in the morning, cooking breakfast at the restaurant before the sun came up, and then back after when the sun came down. So, really wasn't too much time there. So I was like, man, I don't really want to work that hard. So I didn't want to get into the kitchen. So I actually went to school for marketing as well. Okay. And then, worked overseas for a little bit, worked for a FIFA program where they were looking to increase tourism in one of their host cities, came back to Boston, and then was working in software sales. So I was doing that for 7 years, and then really wanted to just try something new. So when I came to LA, I really took on this private chef project. And that was about 2 years ago. And from there, looking to make a platform for chefs to get out of the restaurant, but also to create what they do and what they love on a plate, on a scalable perspective, without actually having to work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So really, the cultured chef is a foundation for a larger platform to work in that initiative.
Wow.
Oh man.
Hey man.
That's dope.
You guys, we have a lot of guests on this show.
It's the visionaries right here.
You guys really, really know what you want, man. And that's really, really, really cool. And that's good for the culture, because there's a lot of things that's out there that you can get involved with, but it's not a lot of things that a lot of people love and do it at the same time. So the fact that you guys are building culture, salute to that. And which brings me into my next question of what is OTW?
OTW.
Live Nation.
It's Once to Watch. Once to Watch is an emerging artist platform under the Live Nation umbrella.
Did you start that?
No, I did not. Once to Watch was started before I came on to Live Nation.
Okay.
What happened was we had a former editor. When she left, I'd probably been in my position for about maybe 6 months.
Okay.
But I was the only other person on the team that had like editorial experience. I was writing a bunch, and I did radio forever. I interviewed artists for so many years. I even did like freelance interviewing and like all that kind of stuff. So I'm just used to that. And I was like, all right, I can do both. So I was doing my job, and then I took over running the blog for about that was probably about November to May until we hired somebody else. So like I went to South by 2 years ago by myself, shot about 18 interviews with the camera, just running back to crazy locations, but getting it done. And then we hired Yasmin, who I think you met as well, when you came by, and she really changed how we run the site. We're bringing on some extra writers and like really being like managing the site, really being an editor for the site, not getting as grossed down in the daily writing, but running the operations of it and helping us grow and get to new places and new heights. And
So how do you guys find an artist for OTW?
What
do you look for?
It's like there's a lot of us, man. Like me and Yaz and like Lexi and a couple other people and some of the intern writers. We really we're like SoundCloud kids, you know what I mean? And we just are on Spotify. We're Apple Music, like all these new sites, just all these different avenues and different like niches of music. We just follow, you know what I mean? Just try to find new stuff. We're also talking to a bunch of people who are out all the time.
Yeah.
So people are like, yo, have you heard this person? Have you seen this person? Oh, I want you to come see my artist perform at the showcase. Oh, I'd like to introduce, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Which is tight, you know what I mean? So there's no shortage of new music or new artists.
Not
like,
at all.
Literally, there's probably like 30 new artists a day from all over the world. So it's kind of like, you know, it's just when you'll get connected with them for sure.
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite artist that came through? I know this is hard, man. There's a lot of dope artists.
To the Wants to Watch event?
Yeah.
I think it might be a tie between the last few. It was between Buddy and Masego, honestly. Those were probably my favorite joints so far.
Yeah. I love Masego because
he's tight. We have a little rivalry. It was cool. We had some Connect 4 battles at South by Southwest this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were very happy. So we met him at South by. And then, you know, we were like, yo, we do the showcase. Let us know if you're in LA. And then we were able to make that happen. And then Buddy, I've been following Buddy for a minute. And, you know, we're really trying to diversify and, you know, get a lot more different types of music into, you know, the Beverly Hills office, which is a beautiful space, as you've seen. But, you know, into the program and the platform as well. And we got Buddy to come through. And he actually just dropped a song with Wiz Khalifa today.
Oh, dope.
Awesome.
I think he's dropping an EP like next week. So, like, it was great timing for that.
Is he with that Taylor Gang?
No, I don't think he's not with Taylor Gang, but I mean, Wiz was featured on one of his joints that he just dropped today. So, you know what I mean? So he just dropped an EP with K Tronada. So it's like he's in all the right cultural avenues to blow up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. What do you got down the turnpike? What do you got going on?
Man.
Like what's the master plan, man?
This cat right here, man.
What are you talking? Short term, long term? What you talking about, man?
I'm serious.
You gotta let me know, man. Come on.
Short term.
You know, I think, like I said, you know, looking for spaces. Currently, we're curating this event for this restaurant in Little Tokyo called Soul Sausages.
Okay.
They wanted to, you know, bring in a new demographic. So me and a couple of homies are throwing an event there called Trap Soul, SEOUL. It's in essence super simple, but it's just like, you know, more urban hip hop music with a custom menu and then at a Korean restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to combine two cultures, hip hop and Korean culture, which you automatically wouldn't put together. But, you know, just living in LA and like meeting, you know, living in K-Town for sure, but like meeting a lot of people from all over the world that love hip hop is like very unique to certain parts of like New York and LA. But being in LA, you know, there's definitely a crossover and a vibe there. So, you know, we're helping the restaurant and working with them to put on this really cool experience. That's on August 27th. Also hosting this like Beverly Hills like album release party for my homie Brandon Torrey, which is on September 2nd in Beverly Hills. But I'll be posting about that on social media and shit. But honestly, man, you know, just trying to, you know, contribute any way I can, you know, trying to book more great artists for the Wants to Watch showcases. Our next one is September 6th. And we have Quinn. Do you guys know Quinn? R&B singer.
No.
Yeah, she just dropped a song with Sid from the internet, QUIN with the little accent mark over the top of it. You know, a little wavy joint. I don't know. My grammar ain't that tight, but you know, we have that on. You know what I'm saying? We have that on September 6th. Well, the Denver Broncos ain't really got nothing tight, but that's a little. We can wait. We can wait for that.
Why that had to come into it? We was giving love, man. What's up? I was about to give you a whole big shout out, and now you done messed it up.
Just give it to Tom. Man. Just give it to Tom. All right. But yeah, you know, and then just like trying to, you know, connect with more artists, man. I think my favorite part of being in music is, you know, being with artists on the initial journey, giving people some of their first looks, and you know, working in radio in Boston, and you know, working with Wants to Watch. You know, we focus on new artists. We focus on emerging artists because, you know, they're the people that still appreciate and really need the support, and like helping any way to boost the great talent to the top and doing whatever we can to help them get there.
Yeah.
That's why I like working in music, especially in this space right now.
You know, I just want to, you know, kind of give you a shout out, just a little rewind on the new up and coming project that you have coming out. When you were talking about going to the Korean barbecue and doing some stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you know, with everything that's going on in the world right now, and especially in this country, being able to show that mix and that cross-cultural situation, and that everybody can love and do some different things in a different space. I want to give you love for that, because we need more of that right now and what's going on in the world. And there's just so much hate and so much issues right now that's going on, and you doing something real positive for the community and for the world of hip hop and for music and for everybody, you know what I'm saying, and food, you know what I'm saying. So it's a great situation. So I wanted to give you some love on that too.
No, thank you for that. I mean, I just feel like, I really appreciate that. I just think like it's not really about me, obviously, you know what I'm saying, but I do think that you can really find what kind of energy you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like you can come to LA, especially with people moving to LA, you can become whatever person you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because LA it has the best of everything you want and also the worst of everything you could think of. You know what I'm saying? If you like really good, you like beaches, you like great food, you like good parties, you like good people, you could find that. You like drugs, you like violence, you like all that wild stuff, you could find that too. So I think LA gives people, enough opportunity to become who they really are or who they really want to be. Right. It's just hopefully you're a good person in there, and that's you want to bring people together and find other good people that want to create things, that want to share things, that want to build things. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I've been lucky enough to use LA for. So yeah. So I have to give back.
Yeah, we got to give you that love, because you're promoting positivity. That's what's up.
Which I sent you a question earlier. Have you ever heard the term LA is plastic? I mean, you pretty much summed it up there. LA has the best and the worst of everything. And I've always felt like you're in LA, you're going to attract the people who you are.
For sure.
If you're a bad vibe, if you got bad vibes, you got bad energy, you're going to attract that type of person. So I just want to, clear that up for all the people that are skeptical about LA. I know my people in New York that's listening, we love you and everything like that, but come out here and get involved, because, there's a lot that you can maximize, especially from that East Coast mentality. And this is living proofs.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
You know what's interesting about that? I just really think that, you hear people come out and move out to LA and they hate it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because it also takes a certain kind of person to move out here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have that natural curiosity of being able to find your groove and find your crew. Because that's what really makes it. The people that you can share these LA experiences with, that's what makes LA tight. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if you're not one of those people, maybe you got moved here for work, or you moved here for like a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but and you're not really that person that's outgoing enough to find your scene. But LA has every scene possible. Yep. You know what I'm saying? If you like people that just like really high-end art and watch like French films, there's like 10,000 people like that in LA. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
If you like people that just like to go to the club every Saturday night and spend $5,000 on the table, there's people like that. You know what I'm saying? There's people that, just want to watch Game of Thrones and go to conventions and play Magic, Dungeons and Dragons at the local pub on Friday nights. You're going to find that. You know what I'm saying?
That's Keith's crap. That's true.
It's all good, baby. I'm a nerd
too. So you can find whatever you want. You have to be willing to, put yourself out there and find it.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Definitely.
Well, we definitely connected with some good people, man. It's all about, and that's what this show is about. Sound, art, and expression. It's about connecting with great people that are doing great things, man. And I want to go into this question. This is like one of our questions of this show. So I hope you guys are ready. I know Malcolm's ready because I sent it to him earlier. He was prepared. But usually I just throw it on them.
Can I ask it? Can I ask it for
Absolutely,
you? I think I know what you're gonna ask.
Go in.
Oh, I like this.
Why they put the boss together?
I was about to troll him crazy. I ain't even gonna do it. So I ain't even gonna troll him. What's your superpower?
My superpower.
Was that the question?
That was, that's right.
Because I know. Because I read.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
He's a reader.
I text back.
You do, man.
Yeah, now my superpower would probably be kind of predicting like what's going to happen as an action from someone else. So kind of a person's reaction.
Yeah.
So I was just reading this book actually on irrational probability, and it basically goes into the thought process in which people take based upon previous experiences that we've had as a culture, and kind of being able to understand what their outcome or what their want would be from that. So I mean, it could be from anything. When you see someone in line at Chick-fil-A and you see an expression on their face, you're like, all right, they're going to get some extra sauce or they're not. Or, you know, they're trying to get in or they're trying to get out. You know, so like, you know, if you're able to read people, you'll be able to kind of be able to predict what happens next.
Yeah, we need to take Steven to our business meetings. Like, what is this guy
he
thinking?
talking?
Salesman.
Well,
Help me.
he's not thinking about giving you guys that investment. He's on his phone.
Facts.
Exactly.
That's what's up, man. So same question your way, Malcolm.
Oh man,
What's your
super
superpower?
basic,
What
bro.
is your superpower?
I just want to fly or teleport. Like, I just want to be able to travel really easily.
No, what is it? Not what you think it is. See,
Nah.
that's some thing. The people that from Boston
man. I'm
that
trying to get.
go with
That's
the
what I
Patriots,
want.
they don't
Figure that
know.
out.
That's what I
Come
want.
see me, man. I'll
Like,
pay
I've
for
seen
that.
you play basketball. You cannot fly.
Oh, bro. You ain't getting no dubs that day, though.
No, no skills.
He was trying to bully 16-year-olds. Like, come on, man.
We're out there looking like old Baron Davis on the court, bro.
No wonder why he always want to talk. He want to talk
Davis
mess about the
gets
thing on
buckets.
Patriots.
That old Baron.
Old Baron got
Uncle
buckets
Baron.
too, man.
Uncle
hey,
Baron.
Hey, man.
Yo,
The less hair, the more buckets. You feel me?
There's a hoop outside,
I'm
man. We
saying.
can pause
Who's the best
this.
player of all time? No motherfucking hair. Know it. Know that. He cut it off so we can win them chips, man. That's all I'm saying.
The best player in LA was Rick Fox.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
you
my
would say
God.
that. That's some. I'm
Yes,
not even.
that was
we're
a
not-
light-skinned
we're-
joke.
Nah, I ain't want to give him that. I didn't even want to go there tonight.
That was a light-skinned
we
joke.
almost made it through it without one light skin
That's
reference.
a light skin joke.
Hey, man.
My superpower. Dude, I don't even know, man. I think empathy, man. Really,
Empathy.
just- I think
That's a new one. Yeah,
having
I
like / emotional intelligence, just
Yeah.
having a high. Obviously I hate giving myself compliments, but like I feel like I have a certain level of emotional intelligence and empathy, so I can get along. And like I have friends that look totally different from each other.
Yeah.
I can really connect with people that no matter what you're doing, what you're about, as long as you're like cool, I can have a connection with anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that would be what it would be, my superpower.
That's the
Empathy.
definition of a true leader. You know that, right?
I heard
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true.
that's really it.
Wow. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. Man, this is great,
Yes.
but we got to tell these guys where to find you. We'll start with you, Steven.
Yeah.
Social medias.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at The Cultured Chef, spelled the way it sounds. So The Cultured Chef, as well as on Facebook, same thing, at The Cultured Chef.
Coolio. You got a website?
Yeah, at theculturedchef.com.
Okay. Uniform.
He's probably in somebody's DMs too if you're looking for him.
Yeah, letting him know about the private events.
If we're gonna be honest.
It's a lot of
Tell him the real
private event.
location, Steven.
it's a lot of elbows in this room, man.
Right?
I got a free one for them Broncos fans.
See, I told you they
It's-
keep coming,
it's-
man.
it's- you know?
Ooh. But I can play ball though, so it's all good.
Hey, man.
I'm just trying to tell you,
Hey,
it
man.
will be a bad day. Promise. That I do know.
Friendly competition up here,
Hey,
y'all.
for sure.
Where can they find you,
Where can we
Malcolm?
find you, Malk?
Oh man, everywhere same shit. Just Malcolm J. Gray, MALCOLM. A lot of people can't spell Malcolm, so
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
Gray with an A or E?
what an A. Damn, yeah, I got silent letters. I got like confusing
Yo,
vowels.
you know,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm all fucked up. But that's
Wow,
me.
man.
At Malcolm J. Gray on everything.
That's what's up, y'all. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. No, you got to invite us out. Anything and everything that you do
Please.
as new cultured people
Yeah,
and that's
for
down
sure.
for the movement, you got to invite us out, man.
Yeah, I got some stuff coming
We
up,
want
man.
to.
Yeah.
We want to support. Seriously.
Likewise, man.
Absolutely.
Y'all gotta bring your boy
Definitely.
back one time.
Absolutely. You know what, man?
You
This
are
is a
here.
residency,
It's a
man. Like we make residencies here because you need this platform to talk about what's going on because, I mean, we're on app radio, and a lot of kids that can't be here, they want to know about what's going on. So,
Yeah.
man, anytime you guys want to come back and talk about any new ventures or old ventures or even talking about what's going on the next thing, on the next level with music, come back, man. You're definitely welcome.
For sure. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you for having us.
I got to stop beating each other up about the sports thing, man.
Nah, man.
that's
Well, I
normal.
mean, they love, but
That's that East Coast mentality.
But there's no fight since they already lost. Like, like the game's
Hey
over.
man,
Like,
don't you got some music to play? Get this dude out. What's up? Thank you for watching Trip Digital sound art expression. Make sure that you like and subscribe this video. We're waiting for